Hi guys, good morning. I am, if you came through last night, then you saw me make a couple of different cards using the silver and gold paper line. And I just wanted to grab them really quick. These two right here were the ones that we made. Okay, so if you missed that, make sure to go back and catch that video. Okay, so it was late last night that we did that. Since I'm having so much fun playing with this paper line, it's called the silver and gold, I have decided to come back on and make a 12 by 12 double-sided layout. Okay, so we're going to make the left and the right side of a 12 by 12 layout. If you are not using a 12 by 12 photo album, then feel free to size this tutorial down to whatever size album you are using. I am using a 12 by 12 layout and photo album, so that's the size that I'm going to be making. So grab your cup of coffee or whatever you drink in the morning, grab some of your supplies, and let's get working on it. I have decided, what I did, if you missed it last night before I get going into the project, is I purchased the silver and gold card making workshop. Okay, and that workshop is a workshop your way, and what it does is it allows you to make 6 of these cards and 6 of these cards. So it's not the complete kit. I did not get the complete paper pack, but I did get, I believe it's like 3 or 4 of the pattern papers. I got a number of solid colored card stocks, and then I got this stamp set along with some itty bitty little gems that I have here. Okay, so it was not the complete scrapbooking workshop. However, it was the card making workshop, and I believe it cost less than $21. So what I have made so far were the 6 cards that you've seen, and I'm going to make this double page 12 by 12 layout, and I will probably be stretching my supplies after that. But if you think about it, that's a lot that you're getting 6 cards and 1 double page layout. And I am doing this during Wyatt's awake time, so let's zoom out to Wyatt. There's Wyatt. Say hi, Wyatt. Hi. There's Wyatt. So I'm going to try to do this while I'm also being a mom, so bear with me. So again, the other thing that I'm doing is I went back through our packets, and I found this from one of our old paper packs. This one was called the Silver and Gold paper pack. Or I'm sorry, this one was called the Sugar Rush paper pack, and it was released a couple of years ago. We're obviously not going to use that same paper line, but I am going to use the same tutorial for it. Okay, so if you want me to send this over to you, just send me a message and I will be glad to send this over. What it does is it creates 3 double page layouts, okay, and then it has your diagram and your cutting guide with it. Okay, so if that is something that you're interested, just send me a message. Okay, so grab your supplies and let's get going. If you are using the B&T paper line, the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to cut our B&T strip off. Okay, and we're going to set that aside because I'm going to use that later. Okay, what I want from my paper is I want 2 pieces of paper that are 5 by 12. Okay, and this is going to lay across horizontally, so I'm going to twist my paper. So if you're using a paper with a design on it, make sure that you're twisting it. So I want the 12 inches to be horizontally across my screen. Okay, so let's go 5 inches and another 5 inches, and since I'm using 12 by 12 paper, I'm not going to mess with the width of the paper. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it aside. I keep all of my scraps right in the Ziploc bag that comes with it, just so I know what paper line I'm working with. So there's that. Okay, the next thing that we are going to cut is I'm going to take a piece of solid cardstock, but a piece that is colored. Okay, and I'm going to cut a piece that's 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Don't play with that. No, no. Okay, 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. I'm also going to take that same cardstock and I'm going to cut a piece that's 1 by 1 3/4. Okay, 1 3/4 by 1. Okay, and I'm going to put that in my keep pile. Okay, I also need 2 pieces of my zip strip. And your zip strip is that strip that we just cut off the top of that pattern paper. Okay. And I'm also going to need 2 3 by 4 inch pocket cards, which typically come in a paper pack, but since I'm not using a complete paper pack, I'm just going to cut that out of another piece of solid colored cardstock. What I'm going to do is we will decorate this. Okay, so let's do 3 by 4. If you have a complete paper pack or you have pocket cards that match the theme, feel free to use those. Okay, so they're going to be 2 3 by 4s. So it's 3 inches and 3 inches. Okay, so I believe we have everything for that. Okay, let me just get my papers. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to, and I'm actually not using, I'm using a solid cardstock on the bottom. So let me stick these off to the side where my kid's not going to hit them. So what you can do is you can either use a pattern piece of paper underneath, okay, or you can cut your pattern piece of paper. And it's going to be, this was cut at 5. So the next one's going to be cut at 7 inches each. Okay, so you could easily take 2 more pieces of paper and do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep this, no. I'm just going to keep this white up here. Another thing that you can do, I'm just going to move these over to the other side. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Another thing that you can do is you can take a stamp and you can create your own pattern paper on here. So that's completely up to you whether you want to do that or not. I don't know if that's any better. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are first going to attach this. Okay, and the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to just take my adhesive and I'm just going to run it across. Okay, I'm going to do 1 page at a time. Usually I have our bond glue that I use for scrapbooking pages just because you tend to use a lot of adhesive. Need to concentrate so I can make sure I'm getting my paper on there flat. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shimmer trim and I'm going to lay my shimmer trim right across here. Okay, so this is going to be 12 inches of shimmer trim. And the cool thing about our shimmer trim is that it comes in a variety of colors. And if you're tricky enough, the shimmer trim is actually self-adhesive, self-adhering. So there is a little plastic thing on the back of here. And if you can get it off, I guess I'm going to have to start this off camera next time. Almost got it. No, don't touch, Wyatt. See if I can get it with my scissors. Alright. There we go. So again, if you are good enough at pulling off adhesive, okay, you don't need to apply any adhesive, which is awesome because it's sometimes more of a pain in the butt to apply adhesive than it is to just pull the backing off your adhesive. Okay, so we are going to lay that right down on top, and that is going to cover the seam that I just created. Okay, and we're going to take it all the way to the end, and I'm going to trim it. Okay. All right, so far this is what my page looks like. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make photo spots. Since I'm making a Christmas layout, I don't have any photos for it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white cardstock. You can use really any colored cardstock. I think I'm actually going to use black. And I'm going to create photo mats with it. Okay, so my first photo space is going to be big enough for a 5x7. I want a 1/4 inch on every end. So I'm going to make a 5.5 by 7.5 inch photo mat. Can you hold on to those for me, please? Okay, so we're going to cut it at 5 1/4. And we're going to cut this one at 7 1/4. Wyatt, no. Okay. And that is going to give me that first photo mat that I need. Okay. If you have a 5x7 inch photo handy, go ahead and add that. If not, this is where your photo mat's going to be. Okay. My next photo is going to be a 4x4 inch photo. So of course my mat is going to be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. That way when I go to lay my pictures on here, there's going to be a 1/4 inch border all the way around. If you do not want that border, then cut this at 5x7 and cut this at 4x4. Okay. Then we're going to take that small little piece that we cut. It's going to look like this. And I'm going to fishtail the end of it, or dovetail the end of it. Not a fishtail, it's a dovetail. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to carefully fold it. And I'm just going to start at the corners and I'm going to cut up. Okay? And that's going to be there like that. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this shimmer trim that I had, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to cut a small piece off. I'm going to cut it in half, or fold it in half, making sure not to leave a crease mark. And then I am going to dovetail it. Okay? And this is what this is going to look like. Okay? Here. Here. Right here. Okay. My son likes to craft with me, so I apologize. I needed to get him a piece of paper that he could play around with. Okay. So, now that I have that done, I'm going to attach everything. Okay. So this is going to go approximately a 1/2 inch from the edge of the paper. Okay, so that's about that much. Okay, and it's going to go 2 inches from the bottom. Okay, and these measurements aren't necessary, but if you do like using them to make your pages nice and even, then feel free. So 2 inches up, 1/2 inch in. Okay, and there's that one. Okay, and this one is going to go right next to it. Okay, so let's go ahead. And we're going to line up the bottoms here. Okay. And if you're lining up the bottoms and your first is flat, your second one's going to be flat as well. All right, so now back to this. I'm going to try to pull this tape off again. Usually if you can kind of pinch it and roll it, it works a lot better. Yeah, see, it was just that first time. I was testing you guys out. All right. With our paper, if you missed last night, our paper is now two-toned. Okay, and that means that this is lighter than this side, which is fabulous. It means that you can stretch your paper out, but it does mean that you have to pay attention to what side you're using if you want your paper to be cohesive. This is going to go right at the top. It's going to go about 1.25 inches from the edge. Okay, so that's right about there. Then I'm just going to take this smaller one and I'm going to lay it down right on top of it. Just like that. Okay. Okay, so now that that is done, we are going to add a title right here. Okay, my title, on top of buying the card making kit, can I see this for a second, please? I'll give it right back. On top of buying the card making kit, I also bought the matching compliments. Okay, and that comes with a variety of stickers, and it comes with these really awesome glitter die cuts. Okay, so I'm going to be using this Merry Christmas one. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pen. Okay, and I am simply going to add that right here as a title. Okay, if you don't have the compliments, then that's fine. Feel free to use whatever title you want to add. Okay, and your title again is going to go right here. This is what mine's going to look like. Okay, and then I just have these little other additional die cuts. Okay, and this is what I'm going to do with them. I want to bring this down just a touch so this is nice and flat right here. Okay, so this is what it's going to end up looking like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that down. I'm going to hope that it sticks. These things should be self-adhesive like the shimmer trim, right? And then I wouldn't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to put it down. I didn't do the top of this H, so I'm just going to go back through and grab that real quick. It doesn't look like it's going to stick for me, so let's get some. Okay, so let's try that. I'm just going to hold it down for just 1 second just to kind of make sure that it's going to stick all the way. Okay. What? Quite the time here today. Okay, now I'm going to go back through and I'm going to do the same thing with the Mary. I'm going to use my pen and make sure that there's adhesive on the back of it. No touching. Oh, are those pretty? Now leave them in there. They're not yours, are they? I've decided to take 2 additional. All of my compliments today come from that compliment pack that I showed you. And each of our paper lines has a matching compliments to them. Do not eat the plastic, Wyatt. No. 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 Okay, you have to behave in here. Man down. Sorry about that, guys. As the baby pull it on the tripod. I guess this goes to show you that even with a toddler, there's always time to craft and preserve your memories. Okay, so I'm just gonna want to make sure that this is down. All right. Okay, so there's that. Slow and steady. Okay. I have so much glue on my finger that these are not sticking down. Okay, perfect. There we go. So I'm going to go back through after I allow it to dry a little bit, and I'm going to just, like, this S needs to be glued down a little bit more, but I'm going to do that off camera. I don't know if you can see the shimmer there. It's absolutely lovely. Even if you do not buy the paper pack, these complements are perfect for the holiday season. Okay, so that's our first layout. Now we're going to make the right side of the layout. This one was the left. Let me grab a sip of my coffee. Okay. This is going to be what the right side of the layout looks like. So it's going to have all of your pictures. It has 2 3x4 pictures. It has another 3x4 card for journaling. It's got a 3x4 card down here where you can either do a card or pictures. Okay, and then it has a 4x6 landscaped photo down at the bottom. Okay, so lots of room for photos. And we will get going on that. That's going to be very similar. So the first one, I use this white in my background. Since these are going to be side-by-side layouts, I suggest that you use a similar paper. Okay, if you do not want to do side-by-side layouts, that's absolutely okay. You can do a single layout here. Say you want Christmas here, and I know that my son has a birthday right after Christmas, so that would probably be what comes next in my scrapbook. You can do that as well. Okay, but I'm going to stick right with my theme. I already have the papers cut out. Again, this paper measures 5 by 12, and we cut it out when we cut out the first one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just glue it right down here, keeping with my theme. Okay. Make sure you line it up nice and tight. Everything should be even. Okay, and then we're going to take your shimmer trim, and we are going to attach your shimmer trim right across the top here. Okay, just like that. Go ahead, and I'm going to try to get this trim off again. And we didn't use shimmer. Oh, we did use shimmer trim. You can actually also use your B&T strip right here if that's what you want to use. Okay, I decided to use shimmer trim on the last one, so that's what I'm going to stick with. Okay, if you're going to cut a piece of paper, it's going to measure 1/2 inch by 12 inches. Okay, and that's completely acceptable too. It's all completely acceptable. Crafting is all about you having fun and pulling through on your creativity. Okay, so don't be afraid to try new things. All right, so we're going to put that right down there. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it down through here. Okay, and see how easy that shimmer trim is to use? It's very nice and easy. You don't have to mess around with getting adhesive all over your fingers. It's just very straightforward. All right, so what I'm now going to do is I am now going to take, I actually cut these 2 cards. Okay. This was supposed to be for my photo mat on the last one, but I used black. So we're going to grab some more black. Okay, and I'm going to cut 2 at 3x4 and 1 at 4x6. And grab some more black. Okay, so 2 at 3x4 and 1 at 4x6. Okay. I think I actually want to use this as my cards. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut 2 journal cards, one for journaling and one for decorating. Pretty sure that I'm going to put something similar to this sticker on it. These stickers again came from the pack along with the all those glittery die cuts that you see. Okay, so with my black piece of paper, I'm going to cut 2 photo mats. They're going to be matted at 4 1/4 and 3 1/4. So when I add my 3x4 inch photo, I have a 1/4 inch border around it. Okay, so there's 1. And there's 2, okay? And then my other photo is going to be a 4x6. Okay. 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Okay. And then from this, or if you have journal cards, I'm going to cut 2 at 3x4. Okay. So 3, 3, and 4. And I'm going to, these are not photo mats, so I'm going to cut these at 3x4 with no border. Okay. Okay. Let's put these all off to the side. Let's tuck the cutter away, and let's go ahead and lay these out. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to put this down here, and I'm going to lay this way. Okay? Alright, so there's that. Let me just organize myself and give you guys a chance to get all your pieces cut out. Oh, geez, guys. I am sorry about that. When Wyatt knocked it over the first time, it was not sitting straight. So let's see if I can get this tripod sitting. All right, I'm back. Woo! A little morning sickness for you. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to lay everything out, and I'm going to attach it. These are going to be 2 inches from the bottom. Okay. So that is approximately right where these X's are, which is perfect. Okay. Then it's going to be approximately 1/4 inch from the side. So you're going to want it way over here. So it's going to be right about there. Okay. And then this is going to be 1/4 inch from that. Okay. So it's going to be just like this. Okay, with this, I'm going to make a journal card again. So I'm going to end up putting some of these on it. I have some more stars. I use stars on the first side. So I'm going to reincorporate these stars back in over here. Okay, I have little 25. And I have this Merry and Bright sticker that I want to use. But I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like on there. So I'm going to cut it out with my scissors first. Okay. All right, so I think I want to put this here. Okay, I have something. Okay, something like this, I'm thinking. Okay, so something like that. Let me get this piece glued on first. Okay, so 2 inches up and 1/4 inch from the side. And that's going to look like that. Okay, I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm going to worry about all the hibosh later with it. Okay, so that's going to look like that. Okay, and then I'm going to start with this journal tag right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on, and then I can either write directly onto this, or I could type something up and then print it out and add it to it. Okay, so either way, we're going to apply this 1.5 inches from the side. Okay, so right about there. Okay, and then these are just going to go right next to it. Okay, and remember, these are your photo mats. Okay, so you're going to do a 3x4 inch portrait. Okay, and another 3x4 inch portrait. Whoops. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Coming back down to here, there's a couple of things that I want to put on here. Okay. The first one is I'm going to want something down here, and I think that I want the December story down there. But first I'm going to stick my sticker right onto this, because I did not have a PML card, because I did not buy the full paper pack. I'm going to make my own. Okay, and we're going to center that. And then I'm going to add these down through here. Okay, there's also up here, I want this to have my journal on it, but I also want, maybe I'll add this one up here. I also want, yeah, I like that up there. Okay, so there's that. Okay, and again, remember that I did stars over on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to try to follow right back through with stars. And I'm going to put 2 of them down through here. Okay, I do want to put this one somewhere. I haven't quite figured that out yet, and I still want to put something down through here. Okay, so maybe I have lots of word stickers, or perhaps just that. I'm just going to do that. I like that, so I'm going to leave it. Okay, and that's going to you don't need to add anything here, but I want this to be part of that card. Okay, you be careful over there with that tripod. Okay, and I have lots and lots of stars, so I'm going to put a couple more stars around my page. Okay, and these stars are going to replace, I pulled out these black and white dots, and the stars will take the place of those. Okay, so make sure that you're not adding too many little embellishments. And the thing with embellishments is remember the triangle, okay? So 1, 2, 3 points. 1, 2, 3 points. Okay. I don't know if I like that one down there. Okay. So that's it, guys. Let me do side by side for you so you can see them both side by side. Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see them side by side. Let me try to. Okay, so this is what they look like side by side. So you have the one side and then the other side. Okay, nice and easy. And this goes to show you that any of our patterns can be used for any of our paper lines. Okay, so if you do buy a Workshop Your Way, save the pattern and just reuse it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great day. Happy crafting.